That's why I said I'm going to teach you a practice today called idea flow. And the fundamental thing that many people come with when they come to one of my lectures is this question: how do I come up with a good idea? Today I want to tell you why that's the wrong question, what the right question is, and how to begin to answer it. That's what I call the practice of innovation. So are you ready to get started solving all your problems? Yeah? Okay. All right, so I'll say this. My journey as an academic of sorts begins with a nerd crush. Every academic has a nerd crush, and this is mine. This is Dr. Dean Keith Simonson. Isn't he handsome? No. He's a professor at the University of California, Davis, and he's done a landmark study of innovation across disciplines. And just to save you, not that it's not a great book, but to save you the time in reading some of his work, I'll distill one of his key theses. The single greatest determinant of the quality of your ideas, paradoxically, is the quantity of your ideas. So to give an example, you can look at the work of Jerry Utley. Dr. Utley is a professor at the University of Florida of photography. He's also an assistant to the late, great Ansel Adams, the iconic American photographer. And Utley divided his class in half. You can imagine half of this room here. He says to half of the room, your grade at the end of the semester is going to be determined by how incredible of a photo you turn in. If you want to get an A, and who doesn't want to get an A, here's the grading criteria for you all. 1 spectacular photo. Okay? I'm going to bring in an esteemed jury of my peers, and they are going to evaluate the quality of your work. The other half of the class, he says, okay, at the end of the semester, we're going to grade your work entirely differently. I'm going to have the jury look at it, but they're not even really going to look. Because to get an A, what you need to do is focus on turning in at least 100 photographs. And it doesn't matter how bad they are. If you turn in 100, you're going to get an A. If you turn in 90, you're only going to get a B, et cetera, et cetera. So he effectively divides the room into a quality cohort and a quantity cohort. And this happens year after year after year. The thing that's astounding to new jurors, and certainly to the students, is at the end of the semester, 2 amazing things happen. One is this group of people whose job it is to turn in a spectacular photo, how many A's do they typically assign? 0. Nobody in the quality orientation of the class gets an A. The other thing that's astounding to the jurors is many people turn in 100 photos. How hard could that be, right? But the amazing thing is there are lots of A quality, A caliber photos in this group as well. And Utley's findings perfectly align with Dr. Dean Keith Simonson's. Instead of looking for a really great photo or a really good idea, you should actually focus on generating more. And I would submit to you that a photo is just a metaphor for spectacular work. If you want to get an A on whatever your work is, the secret is actually to focus first on volume rather than quality.